Hello and thanks for joining the Tuesday edition of Journalist Hangout. I'm Ayodele Ozubakum. It is 129 days to the 2019 general election in Nigeria, and issues about the polls will form the bulk of our discussion today and in subsequent editions of the show. But today on the program, protesters stormed APC Secretariat in Abuja, hold Oshiomhole, others hostage over crises arising from primaries, and later on the show, Southeast-Southwest clash over choice of VP slot for Atiku as Fayose threatens to quit PDP. I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitoju, who is in Abuja, will be joining us live from our Abuja studio, Olayinka Oyegbile and Emeka Madunagu. So if you're ready, let the hangout start now. Many thanks for joining us once again. The Yorubas say eating a walnut is not as difficult as drinking water afterwards. In politics, especially in our climate, managing success and the patronage that comes with it is not a Tea Party affair, as we are seeing in the All Progressive Congress, APC. Fulfilling the political aspirations of legion of politicians within its rank has proven Herculean, and as fallout of the party primary is showing, some members aggrieved with the outcome of the primaries at various levels have taken the fight to the headquarters of the party in Abuja. On Monday, dozens of protesters from different states of the country stormed the APC National Secretariat over alleged imposition of some candidates. The APC National Appeal Committee, no doubt, has its work cut out. Gentlemen, okay, let me start from Abuja. Babajide. Okay. Emeka. Yeah. Let me start from you now. I think they're getting set for Jide from Abuja studio. Well, how will you assess the primaries all through last week? And I think they had their deadline for Sunday, and we've been getting reports and complaints about the primaries, especially. Let's say the spotlight should be within the APC, because the PDP from beginning to end, relatively peace, till the last convention they had on Sunday. I was in Port Harcourt for that convention, and smooth. It was just a replica of what happened to APC in 2014 at the Teslim Balogun Stadium, because everything was transparent and we saw everything. Apart from, we saw everything. And so there's this element of credibility in what the PDP did. Yes. But the APC, direct primaries, indirect primaries across the country, with consensus, we've been seeing complaints, we've been seeing protests.
Yeah, the interesting thing is, you see, the very things that made a lot of people say they left were the reasons that made them leave PDP for APC. Have caught up with them in APC. The very reasons why they trooped out their mass, they talked about impunity, they talked about imposition, they talked about godfatherism, they talked about all kinds of things. They were accusing PDP leaders at that time of all kinds of things. But today, what do you find? It's the same of the same. Apologies to a former governorship aspirant in Lagos. So, now, you have these protests, going on. Even the wife of the president has joined joined the protests via social media, accusing the national chairman of the APC, Adam Oshiomhole, of impunity. And then you see protests from different quarters. People saying they were cheated out, people saying they were not allowed to exercise their rights to run, or that their candidates were skimmed out, were prevented from exercising their rights. So that's what politics is all about. There is no part of the world, at least you look at, if you look at the politics that led to the emergence of Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, from Democratic Convention and National Convention and the Republican Party in the United States. It wasn't an easy thing. There was a lot of rancor. There was a lot of talk, all kinds of things. went down, So it should be expected that primaries will be rancorous. But the thing is this, like what has been said here, that the National Appeals Committee, it has a lot of job, a lot of work to do, because I've said it on this show a number of times, that one of the saddest things for me is that politics is the biggest business in Nigeria. The amount of money put into politics on a regular basis in Nigeria can take care of a lot of social needs, a lot of needs for the people, socioeconomic needs. But you see, people invest money in politics believing that is a sure route to amassing wealth.
Onyeka, what do you make of their exercise? Because I noticed that this is just a deja vu of 2014 in the sense that while they were complaining of impunity on the part of PDP in 2014,
yes,
as one of the major reasons, if you read Bolaji Abdullahi's book on the Platter of Gold, as in the reason the PDP exploded was because of the outcome of this imposition, primaries and everything. And we have the same situation and less acrimony. And I answered, somebody asked me yesterday and I said, oh, maybe because the stakes are higher in APC.
Definitely.
The APC is like a sure ticket to want to get wherever you want to go. Or what do you feel?
Just as you said in the intro, the fact of the matter is that it is harder to manage success than it is to manage failure. And the APC now, going by what is happening now, seems to be a sure banker, at least in the reckoning of many. Therefore, to contest for a position now will be more vigorous than it was in 2015. Because in 2015, it was like a gamble. Are we going to win? Are we not going to win?
I guess.
So all the candidates, there are some of the candidates who had some money, they will think twice before putting down their money that if I calculate that we are going to win and the party doesn't win, my money goes down the drain. But now, they are the party in power. They are the ruling party. And the stakes are that as the party in power, there is perhaps a sort of more of assurance that, look, we are going to win. So I will put everything into it. And that is what is happening. And I don't expect anything less. Because now, as the party in power, they have a lot of things going for them. They are either as delegates and all that, and everyone wants to identify with them, with the party. So every candidate would think that if he's denied the opportunity to be named the candidate and the other person gets it, there's a very likelihood that he's going to win. So that is the situation that they are having in their hands.
Babajide, from your point of view, how is Adams Oshiomhole coping with this pressure? How is he managing this, the higher stakes within the All Progressive Congress? You can see it's more rigorous now. There are a lot of complaints as a result of the primary election from the National Assembly, from the House of Representatives, even from the governorship. I don't know the situation in Zamfara now. I don't know the situation. Okay, they've resolved the one of Imo, but the one of Zamfara is at the close of everything is still looking very, very dicey.
Well, Oshiomhole wants to ensure discipline in the conduct of party affairs. He wants it to be clear that he does not take, he does not brook nonsense from governors, from National Assembly members, from party members generally. As far as it's concerned, the supremacy of the party is underlined. But he can only try his best. As we have seen, the biggest obstacle to Oshiomhole realizing his dream of giving APC primary elections that everyone can be happy about in terms of the conduct, in terms of the fidelity of those primary elections, is the INEC deadline. And governors, knowing that at some point you must submit the list of your candidates to INEC, have kind of made it difficult for these issues to be resolved quickly. And once these issues are not resolved quickly and everyone can see that time is not on Oshomole's hands, they have a way of forcing the hand of the national chairman. What we've had in a lot of the APC states cannot be called primary election. It's the celebration of intimidation, coercion, and all the ugly distempers that make for inequitable elections that are not known for fairness. So this is what we have seen. Look at a state like Kogi State that is gradually becoming the Nigerian capital of impunity. Look at what happened in the Kogi West senatorial contest. Look at what happened in the Kogi East senatorial contest. Just because Governor Yaya had made up his mind that his anointed candidates must win. He told the people that, look, I do not have anointed candidates. But that is a lie from the pit of hell. Because at the end of the day, he told his political appointees that they must ensure the victory of his anointed candidates. Otherwise, they will lose their jobs. So you saw the political appointees doing their utmost to impose smart Adeyemi on the party. You saw them doing their utmost to impose Jibrin Isa alias Chocho on the Kogi East. Mm-hmm. Yes, this is what has happened. Chocho, the serial contestant. Now, have you ever seen a situation? Let me tell you what happened in Kogi State, the Nigerian capital of impunity. Have you ever seen a situation in which an accreditation center is actually Kaba Stadium, and then the voting center, the voting itself, takes place about 2 kilometers away? That is at an event center. The whole idea is to ensure that along the road, those who had been accredited are substituted. How can you do that? Have you ever seen that? No, so this is the thing that governors are doing. They've made up their minds that certain people must go into the Senate, certain people must replace them, must supplant them as governors, and Oshomole is trying his best to try and ensure the primacy of the position of the party. And they are resisting that. There's little he can do when faced with the reality of an INEC deadline. If the primaries had been held earlier, and we had about 2-3 weeks to address petitions and the rest, all this nonsense wouldn't be happening. You go to Adamawa, you cannot tell me that what happened in Adamawa was governorship primaries. No. That was impunity at its best or at its worst form. How can we grow as a democratic nation if we continue to allow this? How can we grow?
Responding to what Jide just, the templates just set up, and when you begin to look at these states one by one and with their peculiarities, and some states at all, that thing they call direct primaries did not actually happen. It was just a matter of writing the figures, because a lot of other complaints that we've been seeing from other states across the country. Yeah. In this kind of situation now, how would it not be counterproductive against the APC? Not forgetting that we're just talking about APC because it's this is the ruling party.
Yes.
We have 92 other alternatives. That's why I tell people, if you're complaining, you don't have to stay in that APC.
Yes.
if you know you agree, we have 92 political parties.
You mean 91 political parties?
Yes, other political parties. Just go and try your luck.
Yeah, but...
So how do you make sure that what's happened, as in a lot of people, after the release of the names of the candidates and everything, will not have people going to other political parties?
Oh, why not? People definitely defect, because politics is about interest. And interest in politics is defined as self-interest.
Anyway, it's too late to contest for anything.
Self-interest. So
Nomination and everything.
No, but there'll be substitutions. Don't forget. So some people holding tickets right now
Interest of-
are holding tickets in trust for other people.
trust
So
for
there'll be
some other people,
substitutions. And don't forget, the Nigerian politician is so dexterous that he can be in
the word,
APC in the morning, but by evening he has
calculation.
moved to another party. These guys plan. They have plan B.
You can
they have their
participate
plans.
in the presidential primaries on
Yeah,
Sunday.
on Sunday, yeah.
And by Wednesday, Monday, there is senatorial candidates.
Yes.
You see, when Jide talked about INEC deadline, I believe INEC did not give the parties the deadline a week.
Honestly, that timetable has been...
The timetable has
there
been on.
since we
So
got the
it has
notice
been
of
on.
election.
Exactly.
Since.
It is just
Sometime
that
in September or-
exactly. It is just that the parties themselves are the problem. You see, for instance, in the case of APC now, we have the former chairman was lethargic. Now we have Oshiomhole who's hyperactive. Hyperactive. So now,
The former was laid back.
the truth of the matter is that if the party had been well organized, as a party well organized, this thing will have been done about a month ago or two. The INEC did not just give them the deadline in 1 week or 2 weeks. They know about this long ago. Why is it that in the case of APC, you know, it will be in tomorrow? Oh no, we are postponing
There
till
was
next
this
tomorrow.
waiting game between
They were
APC
just-
and PDP.
Exactly.
Till the last moment.
So why did they wait?
That's politics.
No,
That's what I said
no,
about
but
interest.
You see, why did they wait till the last minute?
Nobody wants
They
to
are
field.
shooting
Nobody
themselves
wants to. No party will want to field a candidate that cannot, help it. to win
So we
election.
cannot blame INEC for that.
So
It is
that-
the
that's
problem
to
of
show
the
you.
party. It is the problem of
I'm
the
not,
party.
I'm not even blaming INEC. It's not even about, because INEC
The date has been
is an
set.
electoral empire.
Yes.
But the thing is that, like Jide said, you see, Oshiomhole is trying hard to assert party supremacy. But you see, in Nigeria, there are strong interests in the major political parties.
Strong interest
And so
because of their own selfish reasons.
All right.
Because one
let's go
was-
to let's take it to Abuja now.
Okay.
And Babajide, the way forward from this thing, do you see this situation being counterproductive, hurting APC ultimately?
No doubt about it. When you have this kind of situation, the party will pay one way or the other. You cannot tell me that every defector, because what has happened now has led to defections from the party. You've seen people whom governors have taken their tickets by force, leaving the party. You've seen senators, because governors are desperate to go to the Senate, taking their tickets from them. You don't expect them to not want to promote their interests elsewhere. So they've gone, some of them have left the party. There is no way. You see, when the president said some time ago that those who left the party do not matter, we saw what happened in Osun State. You were there. The party was taught a bitter lesson. The party needed a rerun to win. Up to the time of that rerun, they were trailing the PDP in a state that they controlled.
For 8 years.
You saw what happened. You saw what happened in Iwo. If Moshood Adeoti had been in the APC, APC would have won Iwo easily. So defections do not make a party stronger. If anybody tells you that they are stronger with certain elements out of their party, it is a lie from the deepest pit of hell. You get weaker when your friends leave you alone. So, and it is this, look at what is playing out in Kogi, for example, in Kogi East. You have a situation in which Dekina Basa have had 16 years in the Senate. And we have a situation that the current governor is promoting that does not allow the people of Ida to get an opportunity to go to the Senate. And they are approaching an election where people from Ida will be able to make choices. Do you think that they will vote for the party? So this is the thing. And when the ward chairman of Ida protested against this, they beat him up and he ended up in hospital. A lot of the primaries were characterized by violence, vote rigging. This is the first time that I will see primary elections where already thumb-printed ballots will be used in primary elections. So what's wrong with us? Where are we going as a country? So this is the thing. When I said that there wasn't enough time, let me tell you, if INEC had said, see, election party primaries should be conducted within so time, and then INEC says another 3 weeks should be to address complaints, petitions arising from the party primaries, this would not have happened. You get my point? Give a time ceiling for primaries. At the expiration of the time ceiling, then you say petitions and complaints arising from those primaries should be addressed within another 2 to 3 weeks. Oshomole will be able to fix this kind of problems.
Look at the petitions on the merits.
Yes, but there isn't that time. That time is not there. This is the problem. So people have been cheated, but they've lacked a means of actually having such situations redressed. So it's a kind of fait accompli. So you've seen people who have cheated their way to victory in the primary elections. We don't have a way of rolling back the Pyrrhic victory that they have secured.
So we are faced with
that's just not right.
We are faced with like a two-party situation here.
Oh, but even in the United States,
whether we
you have two parties.
Or not, as in,
yes.
What the prospect of this other party? Some people will want to see their candidate will be an Omoyele Sowore. Some people will want to go for my cerebral Kingsley Moghalu. Yeah. Some people want to go for
Obi or Donald Duke.
Or Donald Duke.
You see, that's the problem we have. Everybody wants to be the president. What is wrong in all those people going to the Senate to make the Senate stronger?
The president of Nigeria, the presidency of Nigeria is a very powerful position.
Because we allow it. If you have very strong people in the presidency in the Second Republic, was the presidency of Shagari the most powerful president?
It was very powerful.
No!
Shagari's presidency was very powerful.
Because we have very strong and very strong, intelligent, and very vibrant people in the Senate. People like
there were a lot of them.
The late Baba
David
Dafinone, all those ones, they were very strong people in the Senate, and they had a way, they were checkmating the presidency. But if you have your brilliant people, everybody wants to be president, and then you just give the Senate and the House of Rep to all these traders and buccaneers, and then what in the current Senate now, what exactly can we say has been the achievement of the current Senate? What have we been able to do?
Okay, let's quickly take this breather. When we come back, we'll discuss more. It's still journalist Hangout. We'll be right back after this time out. Please stay with us. Well, If you're just joining us, this is Journalist Hangout, reaching you from our headquarters here in Lagos, Nigeria. And we are looking at intra-party politics, especially within the ruling All Progressive Congress. There are a primary election. We're talking about alternatives. We're talking about Raman Olusegun is the presidential candidate of the Zenith Labour Party. There's another party called
Zenith Labour.
Yes, Zenith Labour Party. You have them. What's the name of my friend Brian? Is Kowa Party. I forgot the name of this man. Now I'm just at the verge of putting everything together.
Yeah.
So it's not easy to get all the 93 people that want to.
No,
become
not even
president.
INEC doesn't have all the names.
Right now.
Right now. So I'm just
in
trying
a matter of
put
weeks,
it together.
yes, INEC will have
Maybe in
it.
a matter of days, I'll be able to pinpoint the
No,
parties and
INEC will
everything.
even give you their names.
Their
It's-
names.
Yeah.
And to even memorize these names. But gentlemen, we felt that if it's starting from local government, starting from something that, but the head starts, the APC and the PDP, the kind of advantage they have over these other little parties might not, allow these parties to actually germinate.
No, it's with time. It's a matter of time. Okay. PDP.
Yeah, this is
PDP was
1998.
founded in 1998.
Yes.
Yeah.
APC is a conglomeration of parties
Yeah.
that had been in existence
Yeah.
one way or the other,
AD,
from AD to
98,
AC to ACN,
CPC,
then you had APP
AMP,
to
part of
AMPP,
AMPP.
and then you had part of PDP,
Yeah.
and then you now have President Buhari's former platform, CPC, that pulled out from AMPP.
Yeah.
So, of course, it's all about, it's a matter of time. With time, some of these parties will merge, they will come together, they will develop common interests with time. But again, that's why you see some people calling for parliamentary system of government in Nigeria. Because you find out that in countries that practice parliamentary system of government, these small parties actually decide the outcome
Of
of
the-
elections.
Yeah.
So that you don't have hung elections. You find out that these small parties, the big parties will have to woo them
So,
to their side.
like a
their-
coalition government.
Yeah.
So, well, someday it's possible we might revert to the parliamentary system of government. But be that as it may, while we're still practicing this presidential system of government, I'm not ruling out the small parties. Yes, you have a lot of people with their eyes on the presidency. But if you remember some years ago in previous elections, you had some parties that produced winners in various elections. That was how ABGA, for instance,
Yeah.
came from being just
That's
a small
about the only
party.
surviving
Look
party,
at
like a regional
PPA.
party.
Yeah.
PPA produced 2 governors.
Yeah.
You had,
They lost.
I think, Justice Party,
Labour Party
produced,
too.
Labour Party
Accord.
produced, and all of that.
Yeah.
Yes, Accord.
Fizzling out
So
now.
the thing is this: it's politics is something that evolves over time. With time, I think these parties will find, so these smaller parties will find a common bearing, and
Jide,
they work together.
do you see the impact of these smaller parties in 2019, or should we say 2023? Because we are looking at the prospect of them making impact, because the landscape has so much been dominated by the giants, PDP and the APC.
The problem is the small parties should naturally start from the base.
Yes.
They are supposed to contest elections at the grassroots level. That's the way it is done elsewhere. It's not as if there are just 2 political parties in America. But smaller parties are supposed to contest elections
Their region,
at
their enclave,
ward
local
levels,
governments.
at local government level. Try to build your strength from the base. Contesting against these big parties for governor, for president, it just shows that they don't know what they are doing. They are wasting their time, wasting resources. Some of the people, some people who are contesting now for president, the Donald Dukes of this world, the Memekos of this world, they don't have the platform that can deliver victory to them. So naturally, if the intention is to serve the people, if the overriding goal is to find a way to get into power and serve the people, then they should, those smaller parties should start by contesting local government elections. Contesting at what level? The mimicos of this world should contest for the National Assembly, not the presidency, except if they just want it to be in their CV that they used to be presidential candidates. You know, in Nigeria, we like titles. Even before they win the election, you will see people calling them, oh, distinguished, excellencies. That's what we call them. We push them to the cliff until they fall off. That's the way we are. We are just wicked. We are supposed to let these people realize, the people around them, to let them realize that, Ogasa, this, your aspiration, this is far-fetched.
Lightweight.
Becoming the president is a long shot.
It is.
Why don't you start from House of Reps? You know, that way, at least it stands a good chance of winning. But picking a little known platform, a backstreet platform, and thinking that you can use that backstreet platform to become president of Nigeria, honestly, it's a long shot. And I'm sure they know it. Because the Yorubas will say, you know? So this is the thing.
Finally.
Let those little parties start from the base.
Finally, you guys
And try to enrich the quality of contests at the local level.
For me, as I said earlier, the presidency is as strong as the Senate wants it to be.
You mean National Assembly?
At the national level. So if we have very strong people at in the National Assembly, it is going to be for the betterment of the country. In fact, some people will not even want to be president. They would rather want to go to the Senate. Because if you have made the Senate so strong, they will not want to do that. So I think all these jokers who are parading themselves as presidential candidates should rather go back and re-strategize and go to the Senate or the House of Reps.
Yeah, but the question is how connected are they with their respective constituencies?
Gentlemen, we have to leave it we have to leave it like that. Yeah. After every storm, calm returns to give inhabitants a sense of relief. But the calm within the People's Democratic Party, the opposition party, after it weathered the storm of organizing a rancor-free presidential primaries, is troubled. Another storm is gathering in the form of picking a running mate for its presidential candidate, that's Atiku Abubakar. The battle for the slots is gathering, a wild wind that the party may find it hard to keep at bay. So many names are already popping up to be penciled down for the vice presidential slots, notably from the southeast and southwest geopolitical zones of the country. Both zones are staking the bragging rights that the slots to balance some permutations in our geopolitics. Also, in what could be manifesting as some form of post-presidential primaries crisis, the Ekiti State Governor, that's Ayodele Fayose, is spitting fire and brimstone over the outcome of the enigmatic governor has threatened to quit the PDP, all because his preferred aspirants for the job did not get it, actually failed. That means Fayose might not be in support of Atiku Abubakar to have emerged. Jide, let me start from you. What do you think might be the problem of Ayodele Fayose? As in, number one, I didn't see him in Rivers State. I didn't know maybe he attended that convention, but I didn't see him. We were there all through. And after a clean fair process, transparent process, that even all other aspirants stood behind Atiku Abubakar to congratulate Atiku Abubakar that day. They spoke in the acceptance speech and everything. And I've been looking for any press release or any press conference of any of those aspirants that are saying, no, that process was not fair. The process organized by Governor Patrick Okowa, Ifeanyi Okowa of Delta State took his time. So what might be the issue with Ayodele Fayose?
He's the only one who can explain what the problem is with him. It's difficult for me where I am to actually know what's going on in his mind. He could be suffering from post-defeat syndrome, you know. You remember that his candidate was defeated. So this looks like back-to-back defeats for him, and it looks like he's finding it difficult to take it. The frustration is setting in for the governor of my adopted state. But I can only appeal to him to remain calm. You cannot win all the time. Yes, you preferred Tambuwal. Some of the governors preferred Tambuwal. They were the ones who convinced him to join the party. But the truth is, PDP does not have governors in all the states of Nigeria. But in a delegate election like this, all the states of Nigeria will be represented. And where the governors do not, the governors have influence over delegates from their states. Outside of their states, people like Atiku, who have tons of dollars, can go to those states and negotiate with the delegates without fearing that a governor could come and pass a contrary instruction to the delegates. So this is the thing. He's frustrated. I know that Wike too may be frustrated. He has to be. Everyone wants to win. In a contest like this, defeat can be really painful. But to be threatening the party that you will leave, I don't think they will even take that seriously because it's leaving power anyway.
Well, I think next week.
The party has lost the state anyway. Yeah. So Fayose has become a weaker person politically. So they are not going to lose sleep, even if he chooses to leave. He should congratulate his party over the fidelity of the process that brought Atiku, because that is the sort of thing that we want. And Governor Okowa is a well put together person, highly organized.
He's never in a hurry.
Someone who will not brook nonsense. So he conducted very good primaries in Ekiti.
Yes.
And some of the votes that went to those candidates opposed to Fayose, many people were surprised. And it was because Okowa organized a perfect contest in Ekiti. He moved ahead and organized another perfect contest in Port Harcourt, where the will of the majority of the delegates prevailed. Atiku got more than half of the number of the total number of delegates. So he won easily.
Delegates, all the aspirants got together.
So that, he got more than half of the total number of the delegates. So what is there to complain about? So I think we should bother ourselves not with what Fayose is saying, but about how Atiku, where Atiku is likely to pick his running mate, because that is what will have an impact on the presidential election, not where Fayose goes.
He's a bad loser.
Now, let's go to that
But
one.
it's also not been, Fayose is also not been, he appears to have lost sight of how things have gone. You know, Fayose, Wike,
Yes.
Mimiko,
Yes.
almost, let me say, quote unquote, destroyed PDP by bringing in Sheriff. It was the three of them that brought Sheriff. And you know how much some strong elements in PDP worked so hard to pull the party out of, the party actually fell over the cliff.
Lowest, yeah.
But they struggled up to the Supreme Court. They did everything and were able to push Modu Sharif out of the party, and they rescued the party. Now the party is stable. Now the party has bounced back. The party has held primaries at different levels. The party has held a presidential convention and has been able to produce a candidate. This was a party that many had certified as dead, even Obasanjo. And this party, within how many years, has bounced back. And then you are saying you will leave the party. When you took an action that almost led to the disruption of the party, I think when people make comments, they should look at the positions they hold. And they should also be mindful of history, because Atiku strongly supported the PDP's candidate in Ekiti State. He supported, he said so many things. He went there, he did a lot of things.
Even in Osun State.
Yes, even Osun, if your preferred presidential candidate, your aspirant, didn't win, listen, this is about sportsmanship. You should close ranks, and unless you already had a plan to leave the party, so you're just looking for an excuse.
No, I think, as I said earlier, the Fayose man is just a bad loser. He backed the wrong horse, and he has lost. All he needs to do is to eat the humble pie and work with the party candidate and see what can be made out of it. But the way I see it is, if he decides to leave the party, it might be good riddance to bad rubbish. Because what value is Fayose going to add to the party? Again, he's no longer in power. He has lost the state. The party has lost the state. And he's not a senator. Neither is he. So what is the substantial contribution that he's going to make to the party to make a difference?
And he's even he's the chairman of the PDP Governors Forum. Such comments should not even come
from him. But he's a bad loser. That's just. But
let's go to the other leg of the discussion.
Yes.
Is that we are trying to look at the incumbent president. That is President Muhammadu Buhari. His vice president is from Southwest Nigeria, and we are looking at Atiku Abubakar from the north, and a lot of names have been popping up, and we need to choose. I've been seeing Chukwuma Soludo, I've been seeing Peter Obi, I've been seeing
Akinwumi Adesina,
the African Development Bank man, I've been seeing Ongozi Konjo-Iweala. Babajide, how strategic will the decision of a vice president be to the bigger picture? That's February 16, 2019 for Atiku Abubakar.
It's a decision that he has to take, and he has to consult widely. I know that Atiku is a very smart politician, and is very strategic. He's going to take the right decision at the end of the day. The truth is, the APC has been trying to woo the Southeast, and projects have been done across the Southeast as a way of sending a message to people of the Southeast that if you continue to back the president, or if you back the president, the future will be brighter. And that the president is likely to support the emergence of an Igbo president in 2023. Naturally, this should encourage many people from the Southeast to want to vote for the APC. Now, when you look at between the Southeast and the Southwest, there is far bigger votes to play for in the Southwest. By far, the Southwest has more votes than the Southeast. When you look at even the votes from Lagos alone, which is the Lagos State alone, which is the highest in Nigeria, you compare to the South, the totality of the votes in the Southeast, you get the point that I'm making. So if Atiku wants to go for broke, if he wants to attack the votes that are likely to come for Mr. President in the Southwest, then he will pick a candidate from the Southwest so that the battleground will now be the Southwest, because the president's large chunk of votes are already locked down in the Northwest. There's little that he can do about that. But in the Southwest, he can challenge the president, and by bringing someone from the Southwest, he can get a substantial number of votes from that area, you know. So, and from the pattern of some of the elections that we've had in the Southwest in recent times, he could be convinced that, look, there is not a big gap between the two parties in the Southwest. So there is every motivation to go for broke in the Southwest. But the Southeast is a traditional base of the PDP. So if he picks someone from the Southwest, it could also be a campaign point by the opposition that, look, as you have seen, this party does not have any regard for you. They've gone ahead, despite your support for the party over the years, they've gone ahead to pick someone from the Southwest. So it's a tough situation for him. So how he manages it is what will determine how well he does in the election. Because if the people vote in anger of Atiku not picking someone from the Southeast, then they could be forced to vote. They could be compelled to vote for the APC in the final analysis. But one thing that I remember Chief Odumegwu Ojukwu saying in 1992 at Central Hotel, when I interviewed him as a young journalist, I took the courage to ask him that question. Why were you supporting Sylvester Ugo of the NRC? He said, I will not support the SDP, though I had campaigned for Southern president, and this looks like the best opportunity for a Southern president in Abiola, Moshood Abiola, but I do not see Igbo blood on this ballot. I see Igbo blood on the other ballot, which is the NRC, because Bashir Tofa picked Sylvester Ugo, the former head of the Biafran Central Bank. So, and you will see that Sylvester Ugo was able to muster substantial votes for the NRC in the election, in the presidential election. So these things are crucial. If he's thinking of the big chunk of votes in the Southwest, then that could actually influence his decision at the end of the day.
A lot of people have been talking about, Peter Obi. Me and my friend on his wall today, CKN. So while CKN was talking about Peter Obi, and I said, I just finished covering an election in Anambra State. And I can't remember Peter Obi pulling his weight by putting a successor there. The president, the incumbent, that Obiano actually won, routed all the local governments.
He was his candidate, but they fell out.
Yes, they fell out.
Yes.
What I'm saying that
he never brought another person.
What's the name of this PDP man that Peter Obi wanted to actually install? Yeah. Peter Obi couldn't even win his local government. Now, in terms of what should Atiku be looking at, is it ability to get the votes or maybe your profile?
No, for me, you see, Nigeria has gone beyond the level of just regions. Okay. You have other interest groups. You have women, you have youths, you have physically challenged, you have professionals. There are different. There are various groups now. So whoever Atiku picks won't just be about whether it's Southwest or Southeast or South-South or wherever. But it has to be somebody who has links across these various groups and somebody who is articulate enough to address Nigeria's issues. Because right now,
Article and articulation.
right, because the PDP should make sure it draws up a program of action that will show it's ready to make Nigeria better than what it is today. So whoever Atiku picks must be somebody reflecting these different interests. It's not just about South, because if you look at it, if you pick somebody from the Southeast, don't forget the South is there. The South is there. So he has a leg in the South. In the national chairman of the PDP, and there are governors there. And there are governors there.
Exactly.
And don't forget, Jide said Buhari has votes locked in the Northwest. But that is his own view. You also have the North Central.
Yeah.
The North Central is key.
Yeah.
And North Central has not been happy with a lot of these herdsmen crisis and a lot of things.
The quantum of votes is what Jide is looking at.
There. And then you have the North, you have the Northeast.
Yes.
Yes.
Even
So
with the
definitely,
The Northwest
it won't just
is
be
where
about.
we have 18 million votes to play for.
Yes. So if Atiku can lock in the Southeast, lock in the South, and do very well in the North Central, of course, he will make some inroads into the Southwest.
Definitely.
And then with the Northeast, he will make inroads into the Northwest.
Yes.
He will do, look, let me tell you, APC, forget about the fact that they are criticizing Atiku and all of that. They are really worried. They are really worried. Take
sure.
it to the bank.
It's a real contest.
You check their pulse since Sunday.
Of course, I'm a
No,
journalist.
if you-
Looking at their
If
statements.
you look at the statement,
Look at the statements.
Okay.
If you look at the statement that the APC has been issuing since, you will know that they are really worried. And I like that. It is to show you that this contest is going to be a real contest. We are really, really going to have
In
an
2015,
election.
it was South person versus a northern person.
But now
we have
North
fair
And these two
square.
are
These
two,
are
they are
heavyweights.
tested contestants.
Exactly.
Battle horses.
Now-
Before I go home, before I
Yes.
take it home, let me just take the last one from Babajide. Babajide, we are still back to where we were yesterday. Do you think, Emeka just said something now, that since the emergence of Waziri of Adamawa, Atiku Abubakar, former vice president, that the APC guys, they've been worried.
Well, there is no doubt about that. When you are contesting against someone that has considerable means, like Atiku, you have to be worried. Because when John Kennedy was asked the most important thing that guarantees victory in an election, he said money. Money. That Atiku has tons of cash, as we have seen it. So that is an asset. To have so much money, the kind of money that he has, is an asset. So you have to be worried. And he is also very well organized. He is the most prepared of all the presidents that we have had in many, many years. He's the most prepared for this position. So they know that Atiku is going to be a tough contestant. Whether we like it or not, the president is not as popular as he was in 2015. Yes, that's a fact. So, as I warned the APC yesterday, they should not call Atiku customer Dadani. Because we've seen customer Dadani. Even Abraham Lincoln was a customer Dada.
Yes.
The 15th American president. He was a customer Dada now. But ultimately, he won an election.
Yeah, sure.
So they have to be worried. And I know that they will focus more now on Atiku's credibility, Atiku's integrity, so that they can be using that to demarket him. Because they know that Atiku is an effective candidate. Some people asked yesterday why I didn't talk about the North Central. And what I told them is, we are not analyzing now who will win the election. So if we were analyzing who will win the election, then we would have been going from geopolitical zone to geopolitical zone. But I know that the PDP is stronger in the North Central now than it was in 2015. That is a fact.
All right. Thank you, Babajide. I can't wait to have you back here in the studio
For a tough
tomorrow.
contest.
Just try and get back so people want to hear from you live and direct. This delay in our technology sometimes could be, somehow. I want to thank you, Emeka.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Viewers.
And I've had a nice time with you. Olayinka Oyegbile, thank you so much. And we wish Nigeria well.
Yes.
Above all, ultimately,
It's our homeland.
It's all about Nigeria.
It's even if we are going to
The
have
best for Nigeria.
a very
It's what
keen
is good
contested
enough.
election in 2019. But bottom line is that let it be free, fair, and
Violence free.
Violence free.
Nobody
That's
needs to be
we
killed.
need a better Nigeria.
Yeah.
And that's it on Journalist Hangout. Join us tomorrow for another interesting episode of this program. You can also watch Journalist Hangout on our platform showing on the screen. You can catch us on YouTube, youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. Our feedback channel is Journalist Hangout at tvcnews.tv. I am Ayodele Ozubaku. See you tomorrow and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.